Is the medical and pharmaceutical industries lying to us? Why are we pushed toward popping pills and expensive procedures and not toward healthy eating and exercising? Are there natural solutions to our health problems they don't want us to know about because it's going to bust their bottom line? In this video, I'm going to share with you how I'm taking back control of my own health, getting rid of those pharmaceutical drugs, and eating, drinking, and living in a way that is honoring and glorifying to God. If you have endometriosis and hypothyroidism, like myself, or something very similar, this video will give you hope. At least that is my hope. And if you have any other medical conditions or chronic diseases, this video applies to you too. So stick around. I am just simply going to share my experiences with what is working for me for my condition that I am in at the moment. That being said, please take a brief moment to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell notification so you can stay up to date on all things faith, fitness, and food. I will wait. I am CoachBri T, an ISSA certified personal trainer and precision nutrition certified level 1 nutrition coach. And in case you didn't know, this is Holy Health episode 11. My, oh my, it has been a rough April for me, but we are here. It took me way too much time to get this video completed for y'all. This is literally my third attempt, I think. Thank you for your patience. Welcome back to the channel. In a previous video, I talked about having endometriosis and hypothyroidism. The symptoms of both have made the last few years of my life some of the hardest years. And between the constant fatigue and the unbearable pain and digestive issues, I've missed the feeling of being normal, as my husband says, whatever that means. After many attempts to find the right combination to get the relief that I desired so desperately and to feel normal again, I can finally say that I feel normal. It's like a SpongeBob episode. Hi, I'm normal. You can watch my other videos to learn the full story about my conditions, we shall call it. But briefly, in November of 2022, my life flipped upside down when for the first time since I was 13 and since I stopped taking birth control in 2018, I'm 30 right now, about to be 31 in like a couple weeks. Woo! So exciting to be old. Anyway, I stopped taking birth control in 2018 and I had an extremely painful period for the first time in November of 2022, which forced me to go home early from work. And then I had to call in sick from work on way too many occasions after that. And I thank God every day that he led me to a job where my boss understood. He's a man, so he didn't fully understand, but he was very gracious, gave me a ton of grace upon grace upon grace. And my coworkers did the same. They were very understanding and helpful and covering for me at a moment's notice. And all I got to say to that is God is good. So all the time, God is good. The symptoms of endometriosis are no joke, my friends. You have fatigue, constipation, severe pain that over-the-counter painkillers don't do anything for, and prescription pain meds don't do much either. And then something I just learned the name of. I don't know if I can do this with a straight face. Something called butt lightning. And yes, it sounds exactly like what it is. Okay, it is a sharp shooting pain that can start from your torso and shoot all the way down to your booty hole. Yes, specifically when you have to fart, or number 2. My husband can tell you the number of times I'll just be standing in the kitchen, like doing the dishes, and I'll just start screaming. And then I can't. Time out. Woo! I'll just start screaming. And at the end of that scream, gentlemen, yes, ladies fart. Okay. That's all y'all need to know. And yes, the symptoms vary woman to woman, but these are the ones that I have experienced personally for at least a week, if not more, out of every month for the last few years since 2022. Whew. And then in the middle of last year, 2024, I found out that I have hypothyroidism on top of everything else, which explains why I was becoming more and more fatigued to the point where I barely could do anything except show up to work. And what was the most frustrating of all of this is being told by your doctor that the only solution is more prescription drugs or expensive surgeries. Either go back on birth control, get a laparoscopy done, take those opioids, take the levothyroxine, do the IVF treatments because your fertility now stinks. And it wasn't until my third OBGYN that I finally was given natural solutions and supplements as an option. Something to give me hope that I wasn't going to have to be stuck on pharmaceutical drugs for the rest of my life. And of course, me and my husband have been working since November of 2022 to find the most helpful nutrition plan and exercise plan over the last few years. But it wasn't until this year that things really started getting better for me, that we really found, we'll say, the key to the problem, the key to find the solution to the problem. So what am I doing now that is working so well? Well, I'm glad you asked. Number one, I'm eating a whole foods diet, and that includes organic fruits and green veggies, 100% grass-fed red meat, raw dairy, pasteurized chicken and eggs, cooking with beef tallow, real grass-fed butter, coconut oil, using olive oil from a dark glass container as salad dressing. What it doesn't include is ultra-processed junk food with a long list of ingredients I can't pronounce. So Cheetos, Cheerios, Doritos, Oreos, and all the other O's are a no-goes, no mo's. And same with the seed oils, sugars, and margarine, and all the fake versions of the real food that are out there. Red meat and fruits have anti-inflammatory benefits to them, so that helps decrease the inflammation that causes endometriosis or contributes to the pain of endometriosis. And the greatest thing about eating a whole foods diet is that I don't have to count calories anymore. It's so freeing. But ultimately, my digestion is way better. My energy is up more. I feel more nourished, and I don't feel the constant need to eat throughout the day when I am not in my luteal phase, of course. The cravings are real with that one. Number two, I listen to my body when it tells me it doesn't like things. Like foods, for instance. I found that every time I eat rice, my stomach hurts. Every time I eat nuts, my stomach hurts. And then I also get this nasty thing called water brash. You can Google what it is. It's basically my esophagus rejects the rice and the nuts and some of the other starchy carbs out there and tries to bring it all back up with a bunch of stomach acid. And, well, it's painful. It's gross. I won't go into detail. Anyway, so I stopped eating the nuts and the rice and a lot of the starchy carbs that were causing the problems in general. And now I get my carbs mostly from fruits and the green veggies that I eat. So we eat a lot of those. And let me tell you, I feel way better overall. My digestion, my energy, I don't bloat like crazy anymore. overall improvement. And when I say I don't bloat like crazy, I mean, even on my period, my husband will be like, "You're not as bloated as usual. Nice." It's like, wins. Trust me, totally worth it. And now my blood glucose is under control. So ladies with PCOS, this definitely applies to you. And my body is less inflamed. And I find at the end of the day, it's just not worth eating the things that my body doesn't like. Doesn't matter how good it tastes. Number 3, I am not afraid to eat healthy fats. And now I'm not saying I eat a whole stick of butter as a snack or something, but I don't hold back on I don't hold back on using real grass-fed butter and beef tallow and coconut oil to cook with. I also like to drink raw milk and have fat in my Greek yogurt. What? And my favorite, I don't deprive myself of eating cheese. Cheese does have high protein content. I mean, it's not a protein source ultimately, but it has fairly high protein content. So, I mean, why not? And, we make mac and cheese, homemade pizza, cheesy broccoli. We put it in our eggs. It all boils down at the end of the day to the quality of the cheese. Is it made with grass-fed and or raw milk? Is it Bobby approved? If yes to both of those, then we eat it fearlessly. Now, getting plenty of healthy fats is not going to give you heart problems like they say it is. Your brain is actually made up of cholesterol, just FYI. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. So, I had a blood test by a doctor who's prone to tell my husband that he needs to be on statins because his blood pressure is high. I have high LDL cholesterol, according to my blood tests, but I don't have high blood pressure. So when I got my blood test results back, they called me and said, "Everything looks normal. Have a nice day." They didn't even bring up the fact. I mean, I researched everything that was on there, and I was like, okay, cool. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's my LDL cholesterol. That says high. I thought everything was normal. Well, guess what? It actually is. So it's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. But anyway, the point of that is healthy fats help our bodies produce the hormones that we need. All right. In a healthy amount so that we can actually function as real human beings. AKA less mood swings for us ladies. Thank you. Number 4. I prioritize protein. Every meal I eat, I make sure that the first thing I eat is the meat, the primary protein source. This helps my body build muscle and recover well after tough workouts, which I do often, as well as balance hormones and improve my mood and keeps me from feeling like I'm starving all day. Much more satiating. I feel fuller faster and for longer. Protein is just like God's medicine, okay? It is awesome. After I eat my protein source of my meals, I eat my green veggies, and then I choose fruit for dessert. If we do have mac and cheese or something like it, which is a little starchier, that comes after the green veggies and before the fruit, of course. Even my snacks are primarily protein. So like if I'm really hungry, I'll eat Greek yogurt with a scoop of protein powder in it and some fruit. My favorite is Greek protein vanilla or Greek yogurts, plain Greek yogurts with vanilla protein powder and chop up green apples into little bitty bits. It's like eating apple pie, just FYI. Rhyming today. Anyway, protein. Number 5, I eat plenty of red meat, especially leading up to and during my periods. Yes, this helps my iron stay up, and all those anti-inflammatory benefits that come with the red meat help limit the inflammation that comes during my periods, ultimately decreasing the pain and the bloating and keeping my energy somewhat of a decent level. I kind of mistimed my last period and my energy kind of was a lot lower, and I noticed that. Yeah, the supplements that I'm about to tell you about have helped significantly kind of keep me from falling too deep into fatigue, but the red meat during the week before my period and during my period has been extremely helpful. So I highly suggest, ladies of all situations, eat plenty of red meat. Grass-fed, grass-finished. If you don't know what that means, go to the butcher and ask what the heck that means. The other thing I do is avoid starchy carbs. I even eat more green veggies and fruits leading up to my periods. That way, I'm not as constipated when my period comes. And listen, no more butt lightning. Number 6, I strength train 2 to 4 times per week and go for walks every morning. And it depends on how my body is feeling, but mostly my herniated disc, honestly. But I usually work out 2 to 4 times per week, hitting leg day twice and upper body day twice, getting the full range every time, including core. In both of those, all 4 of those days, I do core as well. Then every morning I walk at least 1.5, if not 2 miles with my husky because he requires a lot of walking. So that's my cardio, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not necessarily how everybody should train, okay? This is just what works for me based on the goals I'm trying to reach. And yeah, knowing how my body can be sometimes and how my schedule can get in the way. Sometimes I only get a 2 workout week. I at least hit everything once. Now, muscle helps significantly with our body's ability to absorb glucose and use it for muscle. And it also helps keep that glucose from causing the inflammation and fat buildup that makes us so unhealthy and yucky inside. And ultimately, muscle is our body's greatest defense system against chronic diseases. I feel like that is the 10th time I've said it on this channel. No, it's probably more like the 4th or 5th, but who's counting? Who doesn't want to feel better? Who doesn't want to feel stronger? Who doesn't want to avoid chronic diseases as much as they possibly can? And the other thing about muscle is hormone production is impacted by our muscle mass as well. When we have low muscle mass, our hormones are off balance because they're trying to make up for other things that are missing. And when we have plenty of muscle mass, a healthy amount of muscle mass, they work better, more fluid, the way that they're supposed to. And if you didn't already know, endometriosis and hypothyroidism are impacted by hormone imbalances. So it kind of just makes sense, right? To just, have muscle. You don't have to look like a bodybuilder, but you should at least be healthy in that department. All right. Number 7, I have started replacing toxic household products and beauty products that have endocrine disrupting chemicals and forever chemicals in them with non-toxic and natural products. I use Branch Basics for my cleaning stuff. I use Acure hair products. And I even stopped using Crest toothpaste and started using Boca's whitening toothpaste, which is actually better, if you ask me. And y'all, this is a work in progress. This is stuff that we are going to be continuing to replace one at a time, 1 month at a time for probably the rest of our adult lives. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't take us that long. Hopefully the world just changes and, America starts making it a norm to have non-toxic products. And our Kitchen is still in a work in progress. We've got mostly glass and stainless steel and wood cutting board, which is really nice, actually. It makes me feel fancy when I cook. Stuff like that. Yes, we still have some non-stick pots and pans that we're trying to replace, but those things aren't cheap. So, we'll get there eventually. Like I said, 1 month at a time. We keep a list of everything that we need to change. So like we're working on getting our undergarments replaced from the polyester and nylons to the 100% organic cottons. We're working on, we have towels that we're going to do eventually, our bedding eventually. We're just gradually working on things. We're trying to go what we can afford at what point, budgeting it out so that we can still meet our financial goals and then also build a healthier and happier and cleaner and toxin-free home. Number 8, I take beef organ supplements from a company called Heart and Soil. And ladies with endometriosis, determined to throw away that ketorolac, and hypothyroidism, determined to throw away that levothyroxine, listen up. I am not sponsored by Heart and Soil, but let me tell you, their supplements work. It is literally just cow organs ground up in a capsule that you have to swallow. It's way better. It sounds gross, but it's way better than eating the actual things, because I can't stand the smell of liver, but I will swallow a pill that has no scent. Well, at least not enough that I can detect it. I'm not going to sniff the pill before I put it. I just throw it in my mouth, right? Way better than pharmaceuticals. Just one ingredient and then the capsule, right? Well, multiple beef organs. And anyway, the point is they work. And of course they work best when you stick to a whole foods, high grass-fed, red meat, and dairy nutrition plan like I mentioned I do. Let me tell you, I don't take a single prescription drug anymore. Not for my endometriosis pain. And I never had to take my levothyroxine. Now I have to get my blood test done. It's been like 2-3 months. But I am excited to see if my TSH went down. So I will update y'all on that. But I am not lying. I am not lying. This stuff works. It's been 3 months with the Her Package supplement that has female reproductive cow organs in it. Yes, I know. Ugh. But I finally can sleep through the night during my periods, and I don't have to call in sick to work anymore. I don't. I just don't. My energy is way better. I can work out during my periods. Like this is insane. This is insane. And I mean, when I say workout, I don't mean like light weights, lots of reps. I mean deadlifting my max weight that I can deadlift. More than I weigh. I deadlift more than I weigh. Which is insane. And that is more than the weight that I lifted when I herniated my disc. Which is like a huge accomplishment for me. And I was doing that on the 5th day of my period. Usually it takes me a week after the end of my period to be like, okay, we have the ability to work out again. We're not going to hurt ourselves really badly with 5-pound dumbbells. Yeah. So all I can say is it works. It works. And I started taking the thyroid stack as well about 2 months ago. That includes like 3 different supplements. I poop normal. No more butt lightning. My energy is through the roof, probably a little bit too much sometimes. But at the end of the day, I feel normal again. Normal again. It is amazing. So yeah, you don't have to survive off of pharmaceutical drugs for the rest of your life like they tell us. There are natural solutions. We just have to choose the harder path instead of the fast and convenient path that has a lot of negative consequences at the end of the day, might I add. And that's not to say there aren't instances when pharmaceutical drugs aren't needed. However, our first response should always be to look at our nutrition and our body composition, which greatly impacts our metabolic health. And if you haven't noticed, metabolic health is what either helps us not have diseases or to have diseases. So, yeah, and honestly, I think we should be more proactive. If you are disease free right now and you seem like you're healthy, but you're not eating right and working out, don't think that stuff won't catch up to you. So it's probably time to just get on the bandwagon and get yourself together, to be honest with you. And now, I say all this from a perspective of a follower of Christ that his brain has been saturated with the realization that God has given us what we need to best fuel and use the bodies that he created for us. And the complexity of this human body and the divine design of the plants and the animals that we have for food should be our guide for what we should eat and not eat. I mean, God placed Adam and Eve in a garden full of fruits and veggies that he said are good for them to eat, good for food. Except for the one tree, of course. And then after the flood, he commanded Noah and his family to eat meat, probably because vegetation was vastly different and more scarce at the time. But I mean, God even lays out in Leviticus what meat is good to eat and what is not good to eat. Now, yes, we are under a new covenant, so technically we don't have to follow that rule to a T, but I do think we can glean some wisdom from all of that information and be like, maybe certain things aren't good for us necessarily. They might appear to be, but they might not be. And I think the Bible tells us why. I am sorry to tell you, bacon is on the naughty list. It's on the naughty list. Pigs are unclean, according to Leviticus. I am sorry. But anyway, as Christians, we have a God. We have a design, all that God gave us. And we must now choose to deny ourselves and take up our cross. Deny ourselves of the pleasures of the world and take up eating what God gave us to eat to fuel these bodies, right? So that we can be who he made us to be, so that we can go and spread the gospel, the good news of Jesus living a righteous life in our place, because we can't, because we're broken and sinful, to die the death that we deserve, but we're not even worthy to pay our own penalty. But we deserve death on a cross the way that he took it on for us. And then he walks out of the grave 3 days later, putting death to death and putting sin to death, giving it no power over us when we place our faith in Jesus Christ. When we say, yes, I believe that he lived in my place, died in my place, and rose from that grave, paying the penalty for my sin, for my brokenness. But yeah, it's totally worth eating right, no matter how hard it is, because the benefits far outweigh the consequences. And yeah, if I'm going to follow Jesus, I'm going to eat the food that he created for me to eat. And I'm going to stop eating the food that man corrupted for profit, for gain. Anyway, y'all, I hope that gave you hope. I hope that these 8 things that I've done, and I've done many more than 8 things, can give you a foundation to start building upon so that you can achieve a happier, healthier, fuller life. And yeah, if you enjoyed this content, if you got anything out of this, or maybe you have questions, please like this video, leave a comment below, subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell notification to stay up to date on all things faith, fitness, and food. I will see you in the next video. Grace and peace, y'all.